Alright, so we got the leak, the big leak of who is the festival that's going to be announced tomorrow as being the one and a half anniversary for Global, which will come a month ahead for JP. Some License Leaks, the Twitter profile page, whatever, has got the file, which basically says this is the banner, okay? And because the review is tomorrow, and maybe you want to be surprised by the like real review, because when there's leaks, right? There's always a setback, you know. There's always a little grain of salt when looking at leaks, because just because something's in the files doesn't really mean that it's exactly that it's coming next. But I had some hopes that because it would, like, it would make more sense, even if it wasn't in the files yet. Maybe they were just throwing us off, and they were actually gonna release him anyways. But if you haven't seen it yet, and I'm giving you this time to click off the video if you don't want to actually get spoiled, but if you don't care, Margaret, it's the festival. Yeah. So there's bundles added to the files in the Japanese version. Global launch 1.5 years is going to be the name of the bundles, right? And they has, of course, Oath of Light Ludociel, which will be Margaret possessed by Ludociel. Costume package and stuff like that. And Kusak as well. So the banner will be Ludociel Margaret. I wonder if he will count as a Ludociel character or as a Margaret character. I'm assuming Ludociel. Either way, you're probably not going to be able to use both Ludociel and Margaret in the same team. Most likely, just like, you can't use Frodrin and Dreyfus in the same team. So he's probably going to be like that. But yeah, Ludo. I wonder if he's going to have his race on the character. That would be very interesting. Oh my god, imagine having two characters that can't be frozen in the first two turns. Yes. No more Emilia. But yeah, it's weird. I talked about, the leaks of the Margaret, and there was a bunch of leaks yesterday, and today they kind of announced that there's going to be a 1.5 anniversary announcement tomorrow on their dev notes, right? And so I made a post, actually, like an hour after I uploaded it instantly. Who would you want the Global 1.5 anniversary unit to be? And I put the three options as Estarossa, Rogue Golfer, and Goddess Margaret. Margaret, I had the instinct that would be the most likely, just because her files are there, right? Her cosmetics are there, everything's there. So it would make more sense for her to be the festival, or him if it's Ludociel, right? I'll call her because it's Margaret, but it's Ludociel. I guess Ludociel doesn't have a gen. I honestly, I have such a blur if that's ever mentioned. If Ludo and the Archangels have a gender, because they can take female form or male form. But regardless, her. I thought it was most likely going to be her, even though Estarossa was mentioned a few months ago to most likely be the next Holy War Festival. Margaret's files were there, so it makes more sense. But I had a glimpse, I had like a little bit of hope. I was holding to a little bit of hope that they were throwing in like false hints of being Margaret, and we're actually gonna release Estarossa. But it's Margaret, so yeah. 65% for Estarossa, 21-14. It's not the biggest poll vote ever. I had much bigger ones, of course, but it's only been 9 hours as well. It's not even been like a full day. But I think this reflects well what people would actually want. Estarossa being the most likely, because it's come on, it's Estarossa. But if they make a festival Estarossa, I'm not gonna lie, I would much prefer them not making a regular Estarossa, and instead making Mael that, or not even Mael, Assault Estarossa. Something like that. So maybe they're holding for that. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt because I like the dev team of Grand Cross, don't get me wrong, but sometimes they make weird choices. They really do. Margaret, like, you're really releasing Festival Margaret before Festival DN and Festival Gopher. I don't know. I guess, it's Ludociel, which is, if you're counting as Ludociel being, the leader of the Archangels, he is a major character in the series. But come on. But come on. But yeah, I actually, I posted it yesterday and got some, I also agree. I think that eventually Margaret for sure should have become a festival. But we don't even have DN, we don't even have Gopher. We don't even have any of the other commandments that aren't Seljus, right? As any festivals. I don't know. Yeah, some people don't like it. Someone said should have been Sauriel's vassal, which I agree. Come on. Margaret looks good and all, but come on, Sauriel's vassal looks much better. But yeah, so I don't want to say it's unfortunate. What's gonna happen is it's a very unhyped festival, right? It's Margaret, but she's probably, or he's probably gonna be very good. So if in any way this Margaret character is gonna be like a goddess buffer, goddesses are gonna be insane, right? You have Goddess Liz, you have Sauriel, Tarmiel, this Margaret. Ludo's not probably gonna be able to be used, but just these four strong characters, because I think that out of the major goddess characters, Ludo is probably the worst, because you have to also see the enemy, and then you can make use out of him, because his attack cards aren't the greatest, right? His grace is amazing, so there's that. But Goddess Liz is freaking Goddess Liz. Sauriel is a stat buffer, and Tarmiel is insane, right? So if she's in any way a goddess buffer, goddesses are gonna be picking steam very well. So that's gonna be nice. I like that. So that's gonna be probably very good for the goddesses and might create some variety in PvP. And Cusack is also coming. So if Cusack is a really good demon buffer, it might be a comeback for Assault Melee, because Assault Melee, not that it's bad right now, but I barely see it anymore. I feel like it's because people are scared of Bon, because Bon, if you build him up all the way, he can definitely one-shot Assault Melee, right? And Bon doesn't need to keep attacking or anything, you can just keep moving cards and stuff, put a taunt up, use the blue card, get him built up, and then attack, right? When you're all built up. So it's a little scary to face him when using Assault Melee, but Assault Melee is still good. If you have Sigurd as well, he really, really helps. But I think that Cusack could be a really good character, of course, for that. If not for Assault Melee, just demons in general, Sigurd just came out, and if Cusack is a demon buffer in any way, you might not even have to use Assault Melee, just use like other demons, right? But just because Assault Melee always comes in mind when it comes to demon teams, right? But this could be good variety for PvP, especially the goddess part. I feel like not that I want to see more Goddess Liz in PvP, that's for sure. But people are complaining a lot that Bon is overthrowing PvP too much, which I kind of agree to a certain extent. As much as people are making Bon out to be, I see way more Gringolfer, Asken, or Goddess Liz than I see Bon. Way more. So, but for sure, when I see Bon, it's an annoying fight. So, yeah, what do you think? Are you happy it's Ludociel / Margaret? I'm indifferent. I'm a little bummed that it's not Estarossa, because I love Estarossa. I love his voice. I love his character, the twist, which everyone, I'll be honest, I saw a mile away coming, right? Estarossa was obviously mile. But, you know, he does not look like Meliodas and Zeldris. Meliodas and Zeldris are like, what, 5'2", and Estarossa is like 6'4". Like, come on. Come on. But, you know. Anyways, that's it.